Okay, so the important thing to remember here is that parallel lines have the same slope, and perpendicular lines, the slope is opposite reciprocal. And so for each of these on the page, the first one is going to be parallel, the second one is going to be perpendicular. And so we are asked to do two things. We are asked to create an equation in slope-intercept form, and we are asked to graph the new line. So our new line passes through the point negative 4, 3, and is parallel to the one that is graphed. So we know that we have a point, which in this case is negative 4, 3, and we have a slope. Because it's parallel, the slope will be exactly the same, negative 3 over 2. I do want to show you that I could graph this line right now without even creating an equation, because I have a point, negative 4, 3, and I have a slope that tells me where to go from that point. So down 3 and to the right 2, down 3 and to the right 2, down 3 and to the right 2. It is the case that it does not matter what point you start with. It does not have to be the y-intercept. It can be any point on the line. If you follow the slope from that point, you will be graphing the line correctly. So we do need to also create an equation for this, so we need to start with point slope form. So we've got y minus 3 is equal to negative 3 over 2 times x minus negative 4. Just run through point slope form here. So we end up with y equals negative 3 over 2x minus 3. We can see that our slope-intercept is negative 3 from graphing it the way that we did earlier. And so that method that I showed you will work to graph anytime that you have a point and a slope. You do not need the y-intercept. So similar to the first one, we do have a point and we do have a slope. Our slope is going to be different though. Our point this time is negative 1, negative 2. And our slope needs to be perpendicular, so opposite reciprocal. So instead of negative 3 over 2, it's going to be positive 2 over 3. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Before I do that, let's go ahead and graph this. So negative 1, negative 2 is my starting point. And then my slope is 2/3, so up 2 to the right 3. Up 2 to the right 3. Or down 2 and to the left 3. So these two lines, because they have opposite reciprocal slopes, are going to be perpendicular. So y minus negative 2 is equal to 2/3 times x minus negative 1. So y plus 2 is equal to 2/3 x plus 2/3. And it's okay that that at the end there is a fraction. It's not going to end up being a whole number, but that's all right. We will continue solving this just like we would. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Y is equal to 2/3 x minus 4/3 is what you would get if you put that in a calculator. And so you can see I do have a y-intercept that is a fraction, and so my method of graphing using the point that I was given and the slope is going to be really effective in instances like this, because I would not be able to graph the y-intercept anyway. I would be guessing if I were to do that. Moving on. So y equals 5 over 2x minus 3 is graphed. We are looking for an equation and a graph for the line that is parallel to that line and passes through the point negative 3 and negative 4. So we'll start with the graph, negative 3, negative 4. It's parallel, the slope is 5 over 2, so up 5. to the right 2, up 5 to the right 2.
No, that's too big.
Okay, and so we do have a point. -3, -4. And we do have a slope. The slope is parallel, this line is parallel, so the slope will be the same, 5/2. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Y minus -4 is equal to 5/2 times x minus -3. So fix those signs. And then y plus 4 is equal to 5/2 x plus 15/2. And that's going to stay a fraction. We're not going to change that to a decimal. So next we would be subtracting 4 from both sides. So y is equal to 5/2 x plus 7/2. And so that's going to be our equation for it, recognizing again that we do not need the equation to graph it because we can just start at a point that we were given and then follow the slope from there. So this time the line is perpendicular, so we will have a point, -5, 4, and a slope. The slope will be the opposite reciprocal because these are perpendicular, so instead of positive it will be negative. We flip it over, 2/5. So we would start at the point -5, 4. Slope would be -2, 5, so down 2 to the right 5. Down 2 to the right 5. So on to the equation, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Y minus 4 is equal to -2/5 times x minus -5. So y minus 4 is equal to -2/5 x minus 10/5. And I will rewrite that to be 2. So then we add 4 to both sides. And we get y is equal to -2/5 x plus 2. Okay. I will do these 2 more. Looks like my iPad is freezing up or something. I will do these 2 more, and then 7 through 12 I will just make an answer key for and not include them in the video because the process will be exactly the same. So, parallel, slope will be the same. We do have a point, 1, 4. We do have a slope, which is -3/4. So we would start at 1, 4. And then slope is -3, 4. So down 3 to the right 4. And these lines are parallel because the slope is exactly the same. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus 4 is equal to -3/4 times x minus 1. My iPad decided to disappear. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay. Equals negative 3 over 4 x plus 3/4. So another one where we're going to have a fractional y-intercept. So we'll add 4 to both sides. And there's our equation. Number 6, we have a point. x1, y1, and we have a slope, negative 3 over 4. So we can go right from that point, negative 4, negative 5. And our slope is positive 3/4. So up 3 to the right 4, up 3 to the right 4. And there's our graph. y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Y minus negative 5 is equal to negative 3. No, wait, that's not right. The slope is perpendicular this time, so that needs to be the opposite reciprocal. So opposite is positive, reciprocal is 4 over 3. So 4 over 3 times x minus negative 4. Change that to a plus. Y plus 5 equals 4 over 3x plus 16 over 3. Subtract 5 from both sides. Y equals 4 over 3x plus 1 over 3. That seems strange. I think I made a mistake. Let me check my work. I think my mistake is in the graph, because I was still thinking that the slope is 3/4 and it's not. So slope is positive 4 over 3, passes through the point negative 4, negative 5. That looks better. Now it looks like it would match my equation. That's going to be it for this video. If you want to see 7 through 12, take a look at the answer key. But I'm just going to cut this video off because I think demonstrating 6 of these is enough.